The job market showing new signs of life at long last. Employers added 162,000 jobs in March, but unemployment held steady at 9.7%. But it is the best month of job gains in 3 years. Compare that to just a year ago when 753,000 jobs were lost. But there are many caveats with this good news. 48,000 of these new jobs, census workers hired by the government, and those jobs will go away in a month or two. In addition, the private sector added another 40,000 temporary jobs, but there was real growth across most sectors, including really tough hit ones like manufacturing and construction and retail, as you can see there. Now, it's been a long road back. Since the recession began, more than 8.2 million jobs were lost. So even if the economy started creating 300,000 jobs a month, it would take more than 5 years just to get back to where it all began. But most economists do take this as a positive start. The White House heralding the numbers as a sign that we've turned the corner. And Rachel Martin starts us off with that side of the story. Rachel, good morning.
Good morning, Bill. No doubt the Obama administration is pleased to see the jobs numbers moving in the right direction, but it is a cautious kind of optimism.
It is welcome news for the Obama administration, and the president said just that to a crowd of employees at a manufacturing plant in North Carolina.
Today is an encouraging day. We learned that the economy actually produced a substantial number of jobs instead of losing a substantial number of jobs.
But he tempered his enthusiasm.
We shouldn't underestimate the difficulties we face. You know, we're still going through a tough time.
If you factor in all those underemployed or those who gave up looking for work, the unemployment rate actually went up to 16.9%. And Republican critics charged that those temporary government jobs do not lead to more full-time employment. In a statement, House Minority Leader John Boehner said no amount of taxpayer-funded temporary census workers can mask the pummeling America's employers are taking from Washington Democrats' job-killing agenda. Administration officials warned that no 1 month should be used to make grand predictions, and unemployment is expected to hover around 10% for a while.
We will see some months of losses, especially as temporary workers return to the ranks of the unemployed. I think if we look beyond that, we are very close to the point where we're going to see self-sustaining job creation.
But for workers like Dan Huizinga, things are getting better. He lost his position as a sales manager 13 months ago, but he finally found a new job last month.
People are happy to hear back that I'm back in the groove again, and I already landed a couple of new customers and come up with some really good ideas.
We should note, though, Bill, that Dan Huizinga, who we just heard from there, did have to take a pay cut, which is why the Obama administration says these numbers are encouraging, but still no sign of a real, meaningful economic rebound just yet.
Okay, Rachel Martin from the White House, our thanks to you. And to get a little more perspective now, let us turn to the Reuters global editor at large, Chrystia Freeland. Good to see you this morning. Thanks for coming in.
Nice to be here.
So does this mean the recession is officially over?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, this is really good news. We have to be cheerful about it. This, as you said in your really good report, this is the strongest jobs number we've had in 3 years, and that is a really good and important sign. Having said that, it's not going to feel good for a long time. We had a huge loss of jobs, more than 8 million, and it's going to take more than 162,000 new jobs a month to get people out of that.
What's so interesting is that Wall Street's doing gangbusters. Corporate America seems to be very healthy. Does that mean it's that they're running leaner and meaner, and they'll be more resistant to hang out the help wanted sign? What has to happen for that to translate into jobs?
Yeah, I think it's a really good point, and I think we're going to be feeling like we're in a two-speed America for a while. We've seen a really strong rebound in the corporate sector that has been reflected in the stock market. Wall Street is getting happy, but it's not going to feel like that on Main Street for a while. And one of the interesting things that came out of these jobs reports is even though people are working longer hours and being more productive, wages fell a little bit. So employers still have the upper hand right now.
If you're one of those 15 million out there looking for a job, all these numbers and charts are cold comfort for you. But we do live in a very politically charged era these days, and the Obama administration is quite proud of this particular graphic. It's all over their website. These are job numbers going back to December 2007. Now, on the red side on the left, steady job losses under the Bush administration. They bottom out right before Obama takes office, and then the increase begins. What does that tell you about policy and the stimulus and all of the efforts made on both administrations.
Well, I was going to say, what I think that first tells you is that Axelrod is a really smart guy, because that is a beautiful graphic, and I'm sure he's really, really happy to see it on
Might
TV.
be David Plouffe who came up with that one too. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Both of you guys, well done. I think in general, we tend to both blame and credit the White House too much for what we see in the economy. It's very, the economy is not like a car. If you could just turn the steering wheel and turn jobs up, they would do it.
Right.
Having said that, I think actually both the Bush administration and the Obama administration deserve real credit for steering the country through the financial crisis. 2 years ago, we were talking about the possibility there would be a second Great Depression. That hasn't happened. The other political thing that I think is really important about these jobs numbers is it's not going to be enough for people to be cheering and feeling really comfortable in November. So, cold comfort for people who don't have a job, not a lot of comfort for the White House, for Democrats looking at the midterms either.
Yeah, it might be too little too late for them. But a little bipartisan kudos, which is a rare thing
Absolutely.
on any
Absolutely.
program these days. Chrystia Freeland, we appreciate your time.
Pleasure.